My name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube, and in today's video we're going to be looking at a collection of mini fragrances. Before I get into the review though, I just want to show how bad the weather is here in coastal Victoria at the moment. It's a little annoying because today was actually going to be the day that I was going to start filming these outside. But until the weather starts getting nicer again, I think maybe we'll stick indoors. Anyway, let's get to the review. In today's review, we're going to be looking at this collection of John Varvatos minis. It's a 3-pack. It cost me like $35 Australian. I won it on eBay as an auction and it was listed as brand new. However, the John Varvatos Artisan mini that I received had a little used from it, but oh well, for 35 bucks I don't really mind, especially when even at discounters John Varvatos fragrances can still go for upwards of $100 Australian. Here's what the packaging is inside there. It's a really classy looking collection. So, I think the first one we're going to look at is Artisan. Now, keep in mind this is Artisan and not Artisan Pure. It's a little annoying because I thought these would have like little atomizers, but they're just like little dabbing ones that you dab on your skin. Alright, let's see how we go. It's weird trying to smell something that you don't have to spray on. Artisan has a really realistic sort of citrus lemon note at the top. It's also got that sort of really white floral note as well. This is definitely a warm weather fragrance. As somebody that doesn't usually like these super citrus forward fragrances, this one isn't too bad. We'll have to see how it goes as it dries down though. It's still super citrus forward, it's got some white florals, and maybe a touch of sandalwood as well. There's some sort of woody characteristic I'm getting as well. It's also got some sweetness as well, but that could just be because of the citrus. All in all, it's an alright fragrance. I don't think I would personally buy a bottle, but as far as like summer, warm weather fragrances go, this definitely smells quite nice, and it smells like it's made with quality ingredients as well. It's not bad. It sort of reminds me of lemon air freshener though, so maybe that's not the best thing, but oh well, that's just my nose. It's not bad though. Next up is John Varvatos For Him. It's a little bottle, no atomizer again. None of these little bottles have atomizers, but oh well. Still like nice presentation though. Let's put this one on my other hand. Actually used a fair bit in this one, but oh well. John Varvatos For Him is a sweet fragrance, but it's also quite a bit leathery as well. So you've got that leather note and then you've got some fruity sweetness at the top. I'm quite a big fan of this one. It sort of reminds me of John Varvatos' Dark Rebel and Dark Rebel Rider if they had their animalic notes toned down quite a bit and replaced with sort of a sweeter, fruitier nuance. I imagine this would be much more mass appealing than the Dark Rebel line, but it still does have a touch of that leatheriness. Not quite as dirty, not quite as dusty or animalic. But this is the sort of fragrance that appeals to me much more. I will say that it's transitioned from like the opening to like that leathery dry down quite quickly. Now that might just be because I didn't have an atomizer and I've just got the liquid directly on my skin, but I've got a feeling that this won't last very long. But my first impressions of Varvatos for him is pretty positive, aside from the performance. From the scent alone though, it's pretty nice. It probably doesn't help that I'm wearing Victor & Rolf's Spice Bomb, because that's actually a pretty potent fragrance, at least on my skin, so I can still smell that. So you've got to sort of train yourself to ignore that. And this is John Varvatos' Vintage. Where am I gonna put this one? Ooh. I'll put it on the other side of my left hand. Ooh. This is pretty nice. It's much more closer to the Varvatos for him. It's got a tobacco note. It's still quite sweet. It smells very masculine though. Doesn't have any of the animalic facets of Varvatos for him either. You know, generally I really love leather notes, but I'd almost say that I prefer the Varvatos Vintage. It smells old school. It does have that sort of old schooly vibe. Imagine Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, like the original Paco Rabanne Pour Homme, but sweeter and a little more modern. And I think you wouldn't be too far off the mark in that, at least to my nose. Yeah, would I pick this over the other one though? I don't know, I really like this one. I'd have to give it some time to let it dry down and live on the skin a little bit. But first impressions, just on the top. Sweet, tobacco-y. It's got a touch of wood in there, a touch of that fruitiness as well. Maybe some amber. This would be really cold weather appropriate. Sort of reminds me of a fruitier Burberry for him. Burberry London for him. Man, John Varvatos really is an underrated fragrance line. It's a shame that they've discontinued the Dark Rebel lineup. But so long as they continue producing these ones, I think it'll be alright. My first impressions are that I probably prefer Vintage over the other two that I smelt today. Although Varvatos for him comes in at a close second. Artisan is going to be for the fans of the citrus, fans of the fresh fragrances, the summery fragrances. That isn't me, generally isn't me at least. As far as fragrances go, you can tell that each of them are of high quality, even if the performance isn't fantastic on any of them. Well, that about covers it all for today. If you've ever worn any of these John Varvatos fragrances before, drop a comment below. Don't forget to like the video or dislike it if you didn't like it. Subscribe if you want. And until the next one, guys, my name is Aussie Marcel, the most luscious locks on YouTube. I'll catch you guys around.